Good day everybody. Today we will be discussing HTML forms and how it is used. This is just a simple tutorial to guide and help you for better understanding. Today we will be discussing three things majorly. That will be the form, the label and the input tags. So what is form? Form tags can just be defined as an HTML form for creating user input. Okay, and input tag is used for the creation of the input control for like the text area and all of that. You want to input the box, that little box you see. If you want to input something, yes, exactly, that's the input. That's the work of the input tag. And lastly, the label. The label is the description for an input element, maybe like name, the whatever, just the description of the input box. Okay, so let's start. So we have the form. Firstly, we need the form tag, right? So we have this form tag. We don't really need this action right now, so take that away. Yes, so make it like that. So now let's check the input. So we say input. This type is like description of like the type of input element you want. So this is input text. It will receive the text subjects. So if you want to change that, there are like a lot of input type, and I don't think we can cover everything today. But see, now we have the button, we have the checkbox, color, date. As I've seen them, each one of them. So for now, we're still going to we are going with text. Okay, so good. Okay, now we have the text box for the text input right here. See, that's it. It's going. So now we want to describe this, like want to put the label for it. So say label, right? For, okay, this for now it is like used to link the input and the label, like to show the relation between both of them. So in the form, we are going to give it a name. Now let me just call it L of F name, right? So the label name, the description exactly will be first name. Okay, put the colon, make it look better. Okay, good. And this in the input text will give it an ID of F name also. Good. Okay, so you see this is right here. You have the first name. See, when you click on this, you see it gives a little pop-up like to show you that okay, they're related. So now you have your input area for the first name. So that's done. So now let's try it again for like probably the last name. So let's just copy this, yes, and give it a little bit line break here. Let's make it 2 for good visibility and all of that. So paste it here. Okay, good. Now that we have this, let's change the components. So we have the last name. Let's change this F to L. Yeah, also this also to L. Okay, good. Now you see it, you have this, and you can use them for as long as you want. You can use it for anything. Now this one now is the first name and the last name input area. So now we are done with the text. Okay, good. So now let's move on. Now let's move on to the input types. Okay, so there are different kind of input types. As I said earlier, we have the text, we have password, we have submit, we have radio, we have checkbox, a lot of them. So right now let's discuss we have done the input text, right? Okay, let's check input, and the type we want is the password. So it gives me this little code. Okay, thank you. Okay, right now, so should we do away with this? Okay, let's just do away with this, right? So because you can still come back to it later. So let me just comment it out. Yeah, so it just makes it better. So we have the let's give it a label for okay, pass. Alright, okay, I have the label of pass and password. Okay, good. So now you see for the text area, let me comment this. for the text earlier, we had this. Okay, you see the differences. This is taking, because the input type is text, right? So this is taking letters, alphabet. Good. But this, the input type is password. So let's type, okay, let me type my name. You see, it's giving us that little dots. You see, you've been wondering, maybe you want to log into a website and all of that, and you're seeing it's not showing you your password, any of that. Exactly, because the input type of that is password. So okay, let's go. Can keep on trying. Anything you put in there is going to be disclosed for secrecy. Okay, good. Now we are going to like input type email. Okay, so that is just exactly like text. The difference is that it takes in email, because it identifies email. It identifies with email. So if you are working with, it's going to be really different from the text, right? Because the text will take your name, subject, your surname, complexion, any of that. But the email is specifically for email, right? Takes in, make sure that little that symbol will be there, and that's the email tag. So let's check it out. Okay, we add the break. Okay, cap locks. We add the break. We add another break. Good. So we have label for mail, right? So let's come here. Email. Good. So input type email. You see, you're getting it right there. So don't really need this name right now, so we just give it an ID of mail to link it together, right? So you see this, when I want to type in my mail, let's say abc@gmail.com, right? That's it right there. So good. The email, so we're done with the email. So now let's check. Now let's go to like the input type for radio. So let's see. Now let me just like make this a little bit practical, because we are really, this is now getting interesting. I love it. I personally love this input type radio and tech, because it fascinates me. I don't know. So let's see. So let's just give it like a little bit heading, which is your best programming language. Oh, got that really wrong. So let's put a question mark. Okay, which is that's definitely too big. So come in H5, give it a little bit. Let's make it a little, right? So now let's come on there. Okay, this is meant to be outside the form practically, so let's give it outside the form. Good. So now, okay, let's give it a label of choose, or let's give it something better, like check. Good. So now we give it a label of, okay, we first have an input. Give it an input of type radio, or let's go checkbox first. Okay, check box. Good. Okay, I'm give it an ID. Give it an ID of check. Okay, good. So we give it a label of, let's say, HTML. Yeah, exactly, because you're working on HTML, so it's really simple and fair not to put this first. So now we have this. Okay, now let's do it for like 2 more languages. So I'm just going to copy this, then paste it right here and here. Okay, so it's just pretty much, I'm just repeating everything though, so nothing really special in it. So give it a break. I'll give this also a break, just make it look better. So check the label name for this, right? So let's say JavaScript. Okay, and now you're going with, let me just change this to uppercase. Yeah, good. Let's choose CSS. I have a really big problem with CSS. So good. Now you see you have this checkbox and you can tick it, you can select whichever one you want. Okay, so now we have this. So because we are working with HTML right now, let's give it the privilege of it being the one that will be ticked on default. So if you want to tick it on default, like you want to select HTML on default, how will you do that? It's simple, very simple. Just come here and make it checked. Good. See, that's it. By default it will be the checked one. So choose another one. You can choose another one with it. That's really nothing. So which is your best programming language? For me, let's say, because I'm doing HTML, so let's just go choosing HTML. That's really nice. Okay, so how about you want to like change it, like want to make the value, like want to make this not a checkbox but a radio. So when we say radio is not that different from the checkbox. The only difference is that, just see, watch. So say radio, you see that, see it, good, and good. See this is just radio selects in a circular version, like you're seeing this. Radio is just like the checkbox. For the checkbox, for the input type of checkbox, it's a square, but now the radio is circular. Right? Okay. So let's see. Now we are done with this, right? Okay. So let's see. What if, like, now let's go back to the input type and let's talk about some attributes for the inputs. Okay. So when you create you understand, so let's go right again. The label for name, give it an ID of name, right? So input type of text. Okay, good. Now no, let's go with the heading. Let's go with this heading we have right here. So now let's just give it language. Horrible. So I have the language. Now I want to give you an option to type it in. Okay, so now if I want to make this, okay, let's give it an ID to link it with the label. So name. So now if I want to like make this, like I want to make it required, like it is necessary for me to fill it out, necessary for the user to fill it out. Nothing stressful in it, just one simple keyword. Just type in required. You see, I already brought it out already. So required, right? So you will try to fill this out already. Okay, so let's go. Now let's just jump to input type submit. Input type submit over here. So now we want to submit. You see, it gives you this, like, please fill out this field, because why it is required. If you take it out, see, if I submit, the page will refresh it because that's the default. Submit, the page refreshes. But if I add it back to it, required, if I try to submit, it says please fill out this field, because it is required, it is necessary for me to fill it out. Okay, so there are many different type of HTML type. There are different kind of HTML attributes for the input. Different, we have input text, we have color. Okay, now let's check color out. Color, good. See, it's in black. You can select any color you want. You can make it blue, you can make it any color. You see, color selecting is bad. So let's ask a question. Let's just say best color. So you have an option. Now you can select anyone. You can select anyone. So I don't know if you need it for anything, probably anything comes, but see now you have the best color over here. Submit and it refreshes. Good. Okay. So this is required, it's not really necessary in this part. So we have different a lot. So for instance, again, let's try like there's a lot. We have color, we have URL, we have date, a lot of things that you can use the label and input type for. So now if we're talking about, let's go through everything that we've done from the beginning. We've done the HTML, we've done the form, we've done the label, we've done the input, and we've done necessary the input types that we have, the input attributes, right? So we've done the input types and we've done the necessary input attributes. So now let me just give a list of like input types. So we've done, this is a submit. This input type is submit, right? Because definitely submit. If I comment it out, you see, yeah, you see nothing because there's nothing actually there. But if I put it back, you see it comes back there, right? Because that's the function. It submits anything you input in the form. But for now, we have not gone to that aspect here though. Also, we just put it there like just so you know that you can actually submit. So different kind of input type we have. We have the button, we have the checkbox, we've done that. We have color, we have date. Okay, let's see date. Good. So now you see, you can actually select a date. You can select any time for, you see, select any time of the year you want, right? So you have the month, you have number, you have password, you've done that. You have range. Okay, see, range, when they say range, it's like the intensity or something like that. So you can actually select the intensity or whatever of the range. We are just doing a little bit experimenting though. So we have search. This is also similar to the input area, but it is used for like you want to search net or something like that. Probably you want to search, like you want to create a search button in your nav bar or something like that. So you have the search, right? So input text, we've done that, everything. So that's just basically everything. See, form is like a necessary part of HTML. You need to really understand what you're doing with it. So I want to say like the attributes. Okay, so we have the required. We've done required, right? We've done. Okay, now let's do the placeholder, right? I don't think we've done placeholder, so let me give this input type of text, right? So if I give it a value, let me give it a value of let me say waves, right? So let me make this a submit button once again. Okay, so we have waves. All right, the value is waves because now anytime any user logs in and say this input box, it will surely have this value of waves in it. So if you want to add or you want to remove, you can remove and type in yours, right? But the value waves will still be there. You understand what I'm saying? So now if now want to like make these waves, want to make this still show, but it will be like it won't be selectable. It's just like parts, like a description. So good, something like that. We make use of what is called a placeholder. Now see as it works. So we have this placeholder and we go waves. See, now with this, the waves is just there. Now you can type over the waves immediately, even before you canceling it and any of that. See, form is really interesting, and the more you do it, the more you understand what's going on. So you have the disabled. You have the disabled form attribute. So disabled. When you say disabled, see, you can't click on it. disabled, everybody understand what the word disabled means, right? You can't click on it, it is not working. Why is it not working? Because it has been disabled. So let's see, this disabled, right? So we've done disabled. Let's see what's remaining. Now we have the read only. Now with this, you can just read it. You can't input anything in it. Like, okay, let's say this placeholder is like, it has a value of waves only, right? So now with this, you can only read what is like inside. You can only read it and select. You can select it, maybe you want to copy and paste it somewhere else. You can cut it out, but you can't input something in it. See, I'm trying really hard to input something, but it's not working. Why? Because of the read only attributes that just makes it that you can only read it. You can't touch, you can't edit, you can't do anything. So the input attributes that we have, that we've gone over, we've gone through, we've done the required. That means like to show that it is really necessary, that you can't skip it. So when we say required, try to submit. Okay, it's going on. Okay, so it has a value already, that's why it's not working. So you try to submit, it tells you please fill out this field, right? We have the read only, where you can't do anything at all. We have the disabled, where the whole text area is just disabled and it's not even working. You see, it even goes faint when it has been given an attribute of disabled. So things like that, you know when to use it when it is necessary, right? So that's like, I can say that's like all for now. So let's go through from the beginning. You have the form, you have the label for description, you have the input for the text area, for the box and everything. Now we have the input type, the type of inputs that we have the password, the text, the email, the radio, the checkbox, color, any other thing. You can just, if you have free time, you can go through it, check it out and try to test some things out. And we have the for and the ID, so link the both of them together to show it how they're correlating. Now we have the input attributes like the required, the disabled, read only, right? Now we have this input type submit. Okay, so if you want to, don't forget, now this BR, some of you might be wondering, for some newbies, the BR is just like to line, to break. You see, these two are on the same line, but I want to make it come under, but I don't want to use CSS, right? It's just like a basic HTML, like this, let's say an HTML style. So when I input it, see, it comes under. You understand? It works really cool. So let me just like, you see, so now let me give this a placeholder. So let me just quickly do something, like just a little bit something. So now let me start from the beginning. Okay, let's take away this H5, the text. Okay, good. Now let's have a label for name. So let's make it first name. We're going with the first example. Okay, good. Now we have an input type of text, but we make it required, right? Good. So now secondly, we have a line break. Let's add another one. Good. So you have a label, right, for name, last name. Good. So go last name. Good. So we have an input type of text. Give this a placeholder of name and an ID to link it, don't forget, with the label, right? So we give it an ID of name. That was really weird. Okay, good. So now you see you have the placeholder here. So let's give this a value of I don't know why I just decided to type that out, but anyway, let's move. So value, let's give the value of waves, right? So you see the difference with this. You can edit it, you can add, but once you refresh it will still bring about a value. But with this you have, okay, let me make this also a value. Okay, so it's what you see now this. So now let me make this a placeholder with the same waves. Okay, so now you see this, you can't, you see, you can erase over this, like it's just not for you canceling it. This is like the normal value, because you already input the value in it. So this is like the standard value for the first text box. This is it, and the next one is just a placeholder, like just a short description. Now label is like mostly is for people that makes use of screen readers, like so just to understand like what's really going on. And you can also use waves, you can also use the placeholder, because to me placeholder are actually cool. They're actually cool, you can use it. So now let's add another line break. Okay, good. So we have input type, we have age. Okay, sorry, that was not meant to be it. So we have radio. Be careful not to spell it wrongly, because you won't get it, you won't get your value. So now let's see the input type. I want to give it a label of, let's say, age, and let me give it an ID of age. Good. So age, let's say, okay, let's say 2 years old. Good. So now you see, you can select 2 years old. Let's see. So let's add another line break. Why I'm making use of this line break is just like to space the work out, so it won't just look squeezed together and confuse you. Okay, so now let's use the checkbox. So let me just copy this, copy this, paste it right here. So let's just change this to checkbox. Good. Now you see, remember the difference, this checked. So if we put if we give this an attribute of checked, see, it will be checked on default. So you refresh, it says not leaving because why? It has been checked on default. So now let's see, let's try another input type. We haven't done for read only actually, so I'm going to make this read only, and we're making another one to show you disabled. Good. So disabled, you see. So now this you can type on it, this you can only read, you can input anything, and you have this where you can actually, you have to erase this and work with it, you understand? So let me just make a plain one to make it fair, right? Okay, good. So okay, let's just make this a simple input text. You see, this is a normal input text where you can type in anything. This has a value of waves already, and you have to, like, erase it out. And this it is read only. You can only read. Even the name, you understand what's going on when it says read only. Read only read it. So read only, you can only read the value in it. You can't do anything to it. See, I'm trying really hard. You probably be hearing my keyboard, almost breaking. And we have this is disabled. It's not even working. Like, it is not even working. See, not even working at all. So now you have this. That's the value of checked already, right? So, one more. You have let's make another label, and we make this. We are going to make this required. You make it required. Okay, good. So let's create an input type, submit. Good. So now when we have submit, you input this. You see, when we try to submit, it brings this out and says, please fill out this field. Right? You understand? Because why? Because I give it an attribute of required. If it's not there, it is not going to work at all. It's never going to work. It's not just, let me bring this out. You see, when I just submit, everything is refreshed. You understand? But when I bring this back in, yes, when I give it back the attribute of required, and I try to submit and it is empty, it will show you, please fill out this field. But what if I not instance of value and let's say bread, because I love bread. So you see, it shows and it goes back, right? It shows that it has a value already. So see bread. Now you haven't done email. So let me show you email. So let's go down. Input type email. Good. So say let's take away the placeholder. Good. Let's give this an ID of mail. Do the same thing here. Good. So now when we have email, so let me put my email. You see, you already have the email. It will give you an option of the emails like that you've done, directly from the DOM and everything. Like it explains, it automatically it knows that you have an email already, and it brings a suggestion because why you have an input type email over here. But what if it was input type text that was over here, and I tried to input something? See, label for mail, right? Well, if I come over here, still got this. So see, still have the label for the email, right? So that's just it. When I say email, exactly give you an option, and if you type in another one, day@gmail.com, no space. Good. And I submit. See, the required is still popping up, right? So when I delete this and submit, when I come back, it gives me this. Understand? Gives you an option of the Gmails that you have. So now we have this in normal text box. We have this with the value already written, value already in the HTML. We have this a read only, this disabled. We have the radio and the checkbox. See that checkbox. We have this with the placeholder, the last name with the placeholder. We have the email, and we have the submit button. So any inquiry you can please ask through. Please like and follow, comment and share. Thank you very much. See you next time.